$85 million. That's how much MrBeast reportedly spent to build a theme park in Saudi Arabia. And what did he get for it? A temporary pop-up that looks like a Roblox tycoon game. TikTok comments are calling it sad and depressing. Theme park experts are saying it's not even a real theme park, just a glorified county fair with MrBeast's face plastered on every possible surface. Beastland opened on November 13, 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It runs for exactly 45 days. No permanent rides, no immersive theming, just 3 roller coasters, a bungee trampoline, and a whole lot of branded merchandise sitting in what aerial footage shows looks like a giant empty lot. But here's where it gets really interesting. When someone asked MrBeast why he built his first theme park in Saudi Arabia of all places, he said it was because he has a big Middle Eastern fan base. Twitter slapped a community note on that real quick. Turns out there's an official press release showing MrBeast signed a paid partnership with Riyadh Season to support Vision 2030. You know, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's pet project. So how did the world's biggest YouTuber go from seemingly uncancellable philanthropy king to building a sad pop-up carnival in one of the most controversial countries on earth? Let's rewind. MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, started uploading to YouTube when he was just 13 years old. His early content was pretty standard gaming stuff. Minecraft, Call of Duty, nothing special. But in 2017, everything changed. He went viral for counting to 100,000 in a single video. It sounds absurd because it was absurd, but that absurdity became his signature. He figured out something that most creators never understand. The algorithm rewards spectacle. From there, the videos got bigger, more expensive, more ridiculous. He gave away $1 million to random people. He recreated Squid Game in real life. He buried himself alive for 50 hours. Each video cost more than the last, and each one performed better than the last. By 2024, MrBeast had built an empire. Not just videos, an actual business empire. Feastables, his chocolate bar company, was selling in major retailers worldwide. MrBeast Burger had expanded to hundreds of locations. Beast Philanthropy was drilling wells in Africa and claiming to cure blindness. On June 1, 2024, he officially became the most subscribed YouTuber on the planet. He surpassed T-Series with 268 million subscribers after gaining 11 million new subscribers in a single day. That's the most anyone has ever gained in 24 hours. He tweeted that his fans had finally avenged PewDiePie after 6 years. Throughout 2024, he gained 115 million new subscribers total. That's the record for most subscribers gained in a single year by any channel ever. He was averaging over 120 million views per video. As of November 2025, his subscriber count sits at 451 million. And then there was the Amazon deal. Beast Games, a reality competition show with a $100 million budget and a $5 million grand prize, the largest prize in streaming history. Everything Jimmy touched seemed to turn to gold. He had built the perfect image, the anti-celebrity celebrity. A guy who made his money giving away money? Who could possibly hate that? And then summer 2024 happened. In July, serious allegations surfaced against Ava Chris Tyson, who had been MrBeast's second-in-command and longtime collaborator since the early days. The accusations included inappropriate interactions with minors on Discord, purchasing artwork from Shadman, a cartoonist known for extremely controversial content. The internet erupted. MrBeast moved fast. He announced he was disgusted by the allegations and immediately cut ties with Tyson. He hired an independent third party to conduct a full investigation. Tyson stepped away from public life, citing the need to focus on mental health. But the dominoes had started falling. On July 24th, a YouTuber named Dogpack404, who claimed to be a former MrBeast employee, dropped a video called "I Worked for MrBeast. He's a Fraud." 54 minutes of allegations. Claims that videos were rigged, that employees posed as random contestants, that the company ran illegal lotteries, that CGI was used to fake challenges. Current employees pushed back hard. One team member called the allegations lies from someone who was fired for erratic behavior. But Dogpack wasn't done. Less than 2 weeks later, he dropped a second video. "I worked for MrBeast. He's a sociopath." This one featured Jake Weddle, another former employee who shared emotional stories about alleged mistreatment on set, physical pain from a challenge that never even got released, claims that the company hired a registered sex offender for a managerial position. And then the Beast Game scandal exploded. In August 2024, the New York Times reported that more than a dozen contestants from Beast Games said they hadn't received adequate food or medical care during filming. Some suffered injuries from the physical challenges. One contestant described being fed a tiny portion of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few pieces of raw vegetables. For a show with a $100 million budget, On September 16th, a class action lawsuit was filed against MrBeast, Amazon, and 2 production companies on behalf of 5 anonymous contestants. The 54-page complaint alleged chronic mistreatment, sexual harassment, lack of medical care, inadequate food, and unpaid wages. Several contestants were hospitalized. Female contestants described a hostile work environment and a culture of misogyny. A contestant named Amanda Rose appeared in a video claiming she received a traumatic brain injury after being kicked in the head during a game. She filed an incident report when she got home. Crew members compared the production to Firefest. One called it an utter expletive show. MrBeast sent an internal memo to employees acknowledging the need for change. He announced he was hiring a chief human resources officer, a chief financial officer, implementing company-wide sensitivity training. He retained the law firm Quinn Emanuel to investigate the allegations. In November 2024, that investigation concluded. MrBeast shared a 2-page summary claiming the allegations of sexual misconduct were without basis. But the lawsuit is still ongoing as of November 2025. Amazon declined to comment on any of it. And now here's where Beastland enters the picture. Back in May 2025, Saudi government official Turki al-Sheikh announced on Instagram that MrBeast had signed with Riyadh Season to bring world-class experiences to Saudi Arabia for the first time. The post got over 490,000 likes. It confirmed what everyone would soon see. MrBeast's theme park wasn't just a passion project, it was a paid partnership. Now here's the context that matters. Riyadh Season is part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 initiative. This is Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's plan to diversify the country's economy away from oil. But critics call it something else entirely: sports washing, culture washing, using entertainment to distract from one of the worst human rights records on the planet. According to Freedom House, Saudi Arabia scores 9 out of 100 on their freedom scale. Amnesty International reports the country subjects migrant workers to forced labor, arbitrarily detains individuals without any opportunity to challenge their detention. This is the government that MrBeast partnered with. For comparison, look at what happened just weeks before Beastland opened. The Riyadh Comedy Festival ran from September 26 through October 9, 2025. Dave Chappelle performed, Kevin Hart, Pete Davidson, Bill Burr, and the backlash was brutal. Human Rights Watch accused the Saudi government of using the festival to deflect attention from its brutal repression of free speech. They pointed out the festival coincided with the 7th anniversary of Khashoggi's murder. Comedian David Cross published an open letter calling out his colleagues. He wrote that he was disgusted and deeply disappointed that people he admired would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A 4th house? A boat? More sneakers? He said they were performing for blood money. Mark Maron roasted the participating comedians, joking about how they were working for the same people who ordered Khashoggi killed. Shane Gillis said he turned down the money because you don't 9/11 your friends. Tim Dillon revealed he was offered $375,000 for one performance. He joked about the slavery stuff and got fired from the lineup. Comedians faced real consequences for participating. Real scrutiny, real pushback from their peers and fans. MrBeast, he just quietly opened his theme park a few weeks later. No public reckoning, no open letters from fellow YouTubers, no one asking how the guy who built his brand on philanthropy ended up in bed with the Saudi royal family. So let's talk about what Beastland actually is. It's located in Boulevard City, a high-end retail and entertainment center in Riyadh. The official description says it spans 188,000 square meters. That sounds impressive until you see the aerial footage. It looks like someone set up a carnival in a parking lot. The park has 2 zones: Beastland, which has rides and games, and Beast Arena, which has competitive challenges modeled after MrBeast's YouTube videos. The entrance is a giant blue tiger head with pink lightning bolts around the eyes. MrBeast's logo on everything, every surface, every billboard, every structure. Jenny Nicholson, the YouTuber famous for her 4-hour video essay dissecting the failed Evermore theme park, weighed in on Twitter. She said Beastland is not really interesting enough to talk about because it's not a real theme park. It's being called that for marketing, but it's just not. It's like calling a county fair a theme park. She attached a picture of a row of dinosaur-themed inflatable slides inside a room for reference, basically saying that's the level we're dealing with here. The attractions include 3 roller coasters, a 50-meter bungee jump, and competitive games where you can earn points for cash prizes. Tower Siege has you loading balls into catapults trying to land them in 60-foot tubes. Drop Zone puts 6 players on trapdoors where whoever hits their button last gets dropped. The total prize pool is 1 million Saudi Riyal, which works out to about $266,000. There are photo op spots where you can take face and hold pictures that make it look like you're holding giant Feastables chocolate bars with MrBeast. There's what they're calling the world's largest prize wall. 3 giant safes in the center of the park for the top scorers. The aesthetic is what one critic described as looking more like a video game convention than a theme park. MrBeast branding on every possible tall structure and virtually no other decor. TikTok commenters have been merciless. One said it looks like a Roblox tycoon game, another called it sad and depressing. The memes have been even harsher. One viral tweet joked about getting on the MrBeast land roller coaster and being sent directly to hell after they find out I'm friends with a gay person. Another asked, how many slaves do you think it took to build this? But here's the wildest part. Almost all of the videos from people who actually attended Beastland feature glowing reviews, happy faces, excited reactions, and then you read the comments. Disbelief, disdain, denunciation of Saudi Arabia. A complete disconnect between what's being shown and how it's being received. Tickets range from $7 for general admission, which doesn't even include rides or games, up to $66 for full access. One viewer pointed out that MrBeast made his fortune in America but is promoting an amusement park in a country 99% of his fans will never be able to visit or afford to get to. Another said they couldn't imagine being a kid and finding any of this fun or whimsical. It looks like a corporate expo or car show. There's another question nobody seems to be asking. Who built this thing? Beastland went from announcement to opening in an incredibly short time frame. Saudi Arabia has been repeatedly documented by human rights organizations for its treatment of migrant workers. The kafala sponsorship system ties workers to their employers in ways that critics describe as modern slavery. Workers regularly face 18-hour days with no pay. Exit visas get denied. Medical treatment gets withheld. Human Rights Watch reports that migrant workers are subjected to forced labor. The State Department's 2024 Human Rights Report on Saudi Arabia listed abuses including arbitrary killings, disappearances, torture, arbitrary arrest and detention, and serious restrictions on freedom of expression. MrBeast hasn't addressed any of this. No statement about working conditions for the people who built his park. No acknowledgement of where this money is actually coming from. No response to the community note that exposed his claim about Middle Eastern fans as misleading. The priority seems clear. Views over ethics, content over consequences. But here's what makes this really interesting. None of this might matter. We're living in what you could call the post-cancellation era. Controversies that would have ended careers 10 years ago barely leave a dent now. Look at Logan Paul. Remember the Suicide Forest video from 2017? He filmed a dead body in Japan and laughed about it. Everyone said his career was over. He's making more money now than ever. Prime Hydration, WWE, hundreds of millions in revenue. Brands have learned something important. Controversies don't stick anymore. The news cycle moves too fast. The audience has too short an attention span. And platforms like YouTube have too much invested in their biggest creators to let them fail. YouTube's relationship with MrBeast is basically symbiotic at this point. He drives more traffic to the platform than almost anyone. His videos get hundreds of millions of views. That means ad revenue. That means premium subscriptions. That means YouTube has every incentive to keep promoting him no matter what. And multinational corporations have gotten less scared of controversies too. Amazon didn't pull Beast Games despite the lawsuit. They released it on December 19, 2024. It became Prime Video's most watched unscripted series ever. The scandal became marketing. Beastland fits into a bigger trend. Influencer-led experiential entertainment that's really just one giant advertisement. These aren't theme parks built to last. They're pop-up events designed to generate content. Short-form videos become real-life installations. Everything exists to be filmed and posted. MrBeast reportedly spent $85 million on what is essentially a 45-day commercial. A commercial in a country that restricts what he can even say, where his gay fans could face legal consequences for existing, where journalists get executed for tweets, but hey, there's a prize wall. There's something almost poetic about it. MrBeast built his empire on making people's dreams come true, giving away houses, paying off student loans, curing blindness, and now his dream park looks like a nightmare, a branded wasteland in the middle of the desert. When content creators become corporations, ethics become optional. That's the real story here. Not that MrBeast built a sad theme park, but that he built it exactly where the money told him to. And nobody with any power to change things seems to care. Beastland closes on December 27th, 45 days and then it's gone. Back to being a parking lot. But the questions it raises about what we're willing to accept from our favorite creators, those stick around a lot longer. Would you go to Beastland if it came to your country? Or is this just Saudi sports washing wrapped in YouTube branding? Let me know in the comments what you think about influencers taking Saudi money. And if you want more, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.